Nobuhle, many thanks for making the time to join us this afternoon. Talk us through the inspiration for initiating this campaign.
So in 2015, I found myself being without the equipment when I had started my period, and it led me to think, you know, what do girls who aren't in my position, who don't necessarily have a job at that stage? I was working, but you know, my period came and I wasn't aware that it was going to be there. And I thought to myself, what do girls who are in the similar position but just don't have the resources to buy menstrual products do when their period comes and they're not aware of it and so forth? So this then led us to start the Serithi campaign, and at that stage we were, you know, looking for the usual solutions, tampons, pads and so forth, and we realized that those aren't sustainable. I mean, if you go to school and you give them pads, a box of pads, depending on someone's flow, that package or that box could finish within 6 months, or, you know. So we said that's not sustainable, which led us to use the menstrual cup. So we have sort of put our campaign, or made our campaign, around sustainable products to end period poverty.
No, right. Let's talk about that period poverty that you mentioned. I'm sure you've engaged with a lot of young women, particularly in disadvantaged areas. And I mean, just some of the experiences that they have to go through to make sure that they're able to maybe keep clean or go to school during their cycle.
So, I mean, if you don't have the correct equipment when you are on your period, you end up using anything to make sure that you're comfortable or that you can attend school, which is what has subsequently happened, that girls are now missing school because they don't have the right equipment to attend class and, you know, be comfortable while they're on their period. So what happens is that they use from newspapers to old socks to filling those socks with sand so it's more absorbent. So imagine how unhygienic that is, how uncomfortable that is, the amount of leakage that takes place in using products that are not meant to be, you know, feminine hygiene products. So through that, these are the things that girls go through when they are now trying to concentrate in class, but they're uncomfortable because I'm using newspaper, I'm using a sock, and these are things that disadvantaged girls go through. So even if they do take that package that they've been given or by sponsors or the government, they have to take that home and they're sharing that with their whole family. So they're possibly getting 2 out of 20 pads, they're only getting 2. So there's a lot of, you know, the problems are many.
Talk us through the costs of the sanitation cup. And I mean, you'll teach us how to use it in a moment, but the costs associated with putting up this business and really making sure that you are providing access to as many people as you can. And maybe in the same breath, talk about partnerships that have perhaps come out from this.
So because this is fairly a new innovation in South Africa, it has been around since, I mean, the 1800s all over the world, but it is a fairly new innovation in South Africa. There has been a lot of, we've had to get a lot of financial backing just for sponsors to understand.
And how easy has that been?
Very, 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 very hard.
Yeah.
Because remember, it's almost like, okay, in order for us to know that this works, you need to give us sort of, you know, a portfolio of the projects that you've, you know, worked in. So it's like we need money to make money type up. So working as a social enterprise, we have, in the beginning, we funded ourselves just to sort of gain, you know, momentum and show possible investors that this is something that, you know, works. This is something that once, you know, there's education behind it and we speak to the right partners, it is something that works, it's long lasting, the girls are comfortable with it. And not only do we provide, you know, this solution, we also provide sexual education, which in disadvantaged areas is something that's missing due to various reasons, lack of resources or lack of personnel and staff. So it has been a very hard journey, I won't lie to you. But subsequently after that, you know, people, when they saw that these were the results and this is what you can get, more people have jumped on board. We've partnered with corporates, which is what we aim to do. We aim to partner with corporates and act as their CSI. And through that, we then go to the schools and we provide the girls with the cups. And then for a year, we sort of facilitate the girls through using the cups and sexual education and other sort of social issues that may befall on the girls.
Right. So, I mean, here it is here. Take us through exactly how it works. And I mean, I think I'm also thinking, is it something that's reusable?
Yes.
In terms of the girl that's going to be receiving it, she doesn't have to worry about a cost implication.
Yes.
No.
So like I said, we opted for the more sustainable solution. So this is a menstrual cup. It lasts for 5 years versus a tampon. After 1 use, 4 hours, you have to reuse it. So this one cup lasts for 5 years. On average, if you buy it online or at a health store, it's about 200 to 250 rand. So, I mean, most people will be like, oh, that's ridiculous, that's really expensive. But I mean, that over 5 years is substantially less than, you know, buying tampons every month, whether it be 2 boxes, 3 boxes, and so forth. So, yes, so this is a menstrual cup. It is a medical grade silicone, very, very soft. So it does look intimidating at first when you do see it at first, but really it's so comfortable. I mean, I've been using it for the past 3 years and I haven't looked back. So yeah, it's a medical grade silicone, and how you use it, I bought a tampon to sort of illustrate how you would use it. Usually with the tampon, you unwrap the packaging and then you sort of insert it, right? So similar with the menstrual cup, what you do is you have your cup, and there's different ways in which you can sort of maneuver it to insert it, but this is my way and this is how we teach the girls. Fold it in half so it can make a C. So if you're looking at a C or U, whatever. So you fold in half to make a C, and then you just insert it until you feel or hear a pop. Okay. So depending on how, I don't want to say hard because it's not really hard, but depending, you can sort of feel it sort of settling within your vaginal wall. So fold it in half, insert it, and then it will pop inside you. It's got 2 suction holes which sort of fall on your vaginal walls, and then after that you can sleep, you can run, you can swim, do whatever you want. Yeah.
Let's quickly go through the ambitions for the business. You've spoken about partnering with corporates. What about government? How have they received this, and are there opportunities there for you?
Definitely. I think there's opportunities everywhere with this type of solution, especially because it speaks to keeping young girls in school. So, I mean, we're not exclusive to corporate. We're 100% open to partnering with government. We have partnered on a few projects with governments. So it's really a solution that is open to a whole array of people or corporates. Yeah.
Thank you so much. We've been speaking there to Nobuhle Mtshali, who's the founder of the Serithi Campaign.